Patuloy ang Gonzales Vargas pagdating sa immigration at umasa siya sa mismong version ang kanyang pinagdaanan sa mga anong kliyente para tulungan pag-ibigan ang kanilang pamamalay sa Amerika. Don Tagalog, ABS-CBN, New York.
Spotting. Stop. bagong pondo sa mga ayuda para sa ibang bansa habang pumipasok ang bagong administrasyon ng programa. Tiniyak ng Malacanang na patuloy na binabantayan ng PFA ang pansamantalang pagpapatigil ng US foreign assistance at nakikipag-ugnayan sa mga opisyal sa Amerika para malaman ang epekto nito sa Pilipinas. Sa datos mula sa US Agency for International Development o USAID, naglaan ng Amerika ng $9.27 million para sa iba-ibang ayuda para sa Pilipinas noong 2024. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN News.
Isang vendor na may hanggang soya ang panggang sa tingin ng mundo at inararo pa ang poste ng kuryente sa Marilog, Davao City. Damay ang isang sabyang nagumahan ng poste. Ang aksidente sa sa dashcam video nagpapatuloy Hermel Tongko. Nakasunod ang motorista ng Chicken Alergia sa 10-year truck na ito sa sitio Upper Lanitong Marites, Sumawan, Marilog, Davao City. Biyernes ng hapon. Nagulat sila na biglang nag-counterflow at nagpatiwang-tiwang ito sa kampang nasa Burol at inararo ang poste ng kuryente. Natin pa ang dalawang poste ng kuryente. Mabuti na lang ang nakaiwas ng tricycle. Pero dahil ang likurang bahagi ng isang sasakyan at isa pang tatong poste, yuti-yuti naman ang likuran ng truck dahil sa dingin ng impact. Sabi ng driver na bakit nasugatan, napansin niyang wala ng preno ang kanyang truck. Pero mas pinili niyang ibangga sa walang mga bahay ang minamanehong truck para walang iba madamay. Milagro di naman nasakta ng driver ng MTV na nabagsakan ng poste. Sabi niya, nagulat siya sa nangyari at tinignan kaagad ang kanyang pasahero. Kung sumantay palugas ito, posibleng matamaan ito sa natumbang poste. Dinala sa Marilog Police Station ang driver ng truck para maimbestigahan. Colonel Tongko, ABS-CBN Davao. Paayos at mabilis ang buwan ang transmisyon ng resulta sa mga elections ng Commission on Elections sa Puno at sa pamangkilan sa bansa at sa Singapore. Wala rin ang COMELEC na walang pagkikilanang aberya sa halalan dahil sa counting machines. Mula sa Tunang Papatol, Rini Castillo.
ABS-CBN News Center Manila. Ito ang TV Patrol Weekend.
Magandang hapon, Pilipinas. Kami ang mga patrol ng Pilipino.
Nagbabalita at nag-iikot sa inyo saan man sa mundo.
Sa pamilya nakaligtas sa pananambang ang alkalde ng Sharifagua, Maguindanao del Sur ngayong linggo ng umaga habang sugatan ang kanyang dalawang security escort. Nakuhanan ng CCTV ang pananambang kay Mayor Dato Ahmad Mitra Apakuan sa Barangay Poblasyon. Palito ang team na SUV ng alkalde nang lumabas ang tatlong lalaki mula sa isang minivan at sa katinarget ng Rocket Propelled Grenade o RPG ang sasakyan ng Apakuan. Kung alturot ang SUV palayo sa lugar at mabilis ding tumakas ang minivan. Ayon sa Police Regional Office Bangsamoro Administrative Region, hinabol ng mga takuhan ni Apakuan ang mga suspect at nagkabarilan. Nakatanggap naman ang impormasyon ng mga pulis na may isang minivan sa National Highway sa bahagi ng Barangay Meta sa bayan ng Datong Ursay na lulan ang tatlong lalaking tubuhan at wala ng buhay. Pinaniniwalaan sila ang mga suspect sa panagambang sa alkalde. nagpapatuloy pa ang investigasyon sa insidente. Desididong magsampa ng formal na reklamo sa National Police Commission ang fire volunteer na hinarang at pinag-umura ng isang pulis marikina. Naliligan din ang napulkong na may pagkakamali ang naturang pulis kaya dapat siyang mapanagot. Nagpapatrol, Jessie Cruza.
Galit na galit ang pulis na ito habang pinabababa ang driver ng isang fire truck sa kahabaan ng F. Pasto Avenue sa Pasig City hapon nitong Martes. Bilang sa pa, bumaba ang driver ng fire truck at nagpaliwanag sa pulis.
Tulungan ko sila. Matagpuan ko ako, pinangang pa dito. O sabi si Mayo. Tulungan ko.
Matapos ang insidente, umalis ang pulis sa lugar sa kanyang kotse. Kinilala ang driver ng fire truck na si Colonel Joseph Lantin na fire volunteer sa Pasig City. Kwento ni Lantin, galing sila sa pagresponde sa sunog sa Nabotas ng araw na yon. Nang makatanggap ng tawag na may isa pang insidente ng sunog sa Santa Mesa, Manila na kanila rin respondihan.
Nakalabas na po kasi yung fire truck namin sa kalsada. Halos kalahati na ng kalsada na namin. Bigla siya sumulpot. Napapreno po ako. Sinahan ko po siya.
Dito na sila hinapol ng pulis at pilit na pinatigil.
Dalawang beses po niya kami nung unang cut po, munti ko na po siya tamaan. Pero nakaiwas po ako nung iwasan po siya. Dahil pagdating dito sa tapat po ng base namin, doon na ulit siya kumat po na doon na po ako pinagmumura. Natakot po ako kasi naka-uniforme po siya. Hindi po kami nakaresponde sa ako dahil po sa kanya.
Sa investigasyon, napag-alamang papasok na sa trabaho sa Marikina ang pulis na may ranggong pulis corporal. Sinibak siya sa pwesto ang nasa Station Headquarters Support Unit Penol.
Talaga sinabi natin na we need to explain sa ating tao natin at pag nakita po natin na hindi po galit yung kanyang dito na talagang magkakandak po tayo ng weekend investigation po sa kanya.
Kinastigo at sinisilip na ng Napolco ang ikikilos ng nasabing alagad ng batas.
Mali-mali itong pangyayaring ito. Hindi dapat pinapagalitan, gawa na pinapaya ng ating kapulisan na isang fire volunteer o isang kasama rin sa public service. Volunteer tayo ng mag-approve investigation at nagalanan tayo ng tao for the past couple of days.
Sumasailalim din ang naturang pulis sa bantay na isipan program ng PNP.
I think the some form of this contact ito, I will leave it to the image kung anong pati yung resulta ng kanilang investigasyon. May mananagutan yung ating kapulisan na siya'y dapat managot. Yung extent na lang na pag-uusapan dito kung anong pangyayari dito.
Pinadala na rin ng Land Transportation Office ng Sampina ang police corporal at may-ari ng fire truck para pagpaliwanagin sa darating na January 29. Sinuspindi na rin ng ahensya ang lisensya ng pulis sa loob ng 70 araw at isinailalim sa alarma ang kanyang sasakyan habang bubuhusan ang investigasyon.
Kahit na sabihin natin hindi emergency vehicle, kahit na private vehicle, at tumayo ka ron, mangharang pa, hindi ko tama yun.
Ayon pa sa road safety advocate at LTO lecturer na si Ari Sullivan, malinaw na may pagkakamali ang pulis sa pagharang sa fire truck lalo re-responde ito sa sunog.
Number one po, pagka emergency vehicle, dapat po mag-equip po tayo. So number one po yan. Ako, dapat po tayo tumabi kung sa may space ang ating sasakyan para mapagbigyan po natin ang emergency.
Pinuntahan ng ABS-CBN ang sagot na pulis sa Marikina City Police Headquarters para kunin ang kanyang panig pero wala siya roon. Jessie Cruza, ABS-CBN News.
Isiniwala ni Oriental Mindoro Governor Fernando Totoo ang umano'y panibagong substandard ng budget o project sa bayan ng Nauhan ng Buo at nagtulot ng pagbaha. Higit 4 milyong piso ang halaga ng proyekto na ng gobernador na isama ito sa investigasyon sa mga manumalyang flood control project ng Papagon, Dennis Dato.
Kitang-kita ang isang ng haba ng pamahagi ng road dahil sa mga San Andres sa Nauhan Oriental Mindoro. Protection sana ang proyektong ito ng DPWH sa pag-apaw ng mag-asawang Tubig River. Pero nang bumuhos ng malakas na ulan ng Disyembre, ang inaasang dahil gumuho. Dahil dito, binaba ang mga bayan ng Nauhan at Victoria.
Dalawang project na million bawat isa. So, ibig sabihin, 420 million. At yung 420 million, i-split sa dalawa, pero isang kontratista ang nanalo. Contractor. Ito yung portion pa lang ng nawasak. Marami pang bahagi ng stress nito ang wasak.
Disyembre 2023 na matapos ang unang road type, Pebrero 2024 naman ang ikalawang proyekto. Ginagalit ni Robert Dulon ang maling paglagay ng geotextiles sa estatura na taliwas kumano sa disenyo ng DPWH.
Sa likod pa lang, ng wall na yan, meron geotextile, yung pangpuno. Hindi dapat sa lupa lang. Yung nagulat ako, yung geotextile na dapat ay nasa loob, yun ay nasa labas. So paano ngayon ito titibay, paano titino ang proyekto?
Pinahukay din ni Governor Dulon ang pundasyon ng road type at tulad sa mga naunang datok na sampalpak ng flood control project sa Nauman, pinipig din ang sukat ng sheet piles. Sa halip na 12 metro, 3 metro lamang ang mga ito.
Kahit na gawin ko pumatibay sa taas, babagsak at babagsak ang ilalim. Kasi yung nag-hold sa ilalim, yun ang mauna, yun ang substandard.
Dismayado ngayon ng Nauman, lalo't laging binabaha ang kanyang bayan.
Malaking problema talaga nakakaprovisyo. Kaya nga halos hindi ka makatulog pagka kaya hinihin ko kanina sa pamilya ko. Sana matuloy yung trading, malaking tulong sa amin.
Naon din sa inspeksyon ang kinatuwa ng Construction Division ng DPWH ni Manopa. Tumanggi siya magbigay ng parehas sa camera, pero sinabi niya isusundin niya sa kagawaran ang mga talis kumalik kapalpakan sa flood control project. Noong nakaraang taon, unang isiniwalat ni Governor Dulon ang mga gumuhong kumalik substandard ng flood control project sa mag-asawang Tubig River. Kasalukuyang nakakulong ang mga opisyal ng DPWH ni Manopa na sangkot dito at dinidinig na ang kaso sa Sandigan Bayan. Guys, ngayon ni Governor Dulon na makasuhan at mamamanagot sa batas ang mga sangkot sa panibagong pagbuho ng flood control project na ito dito pa rin sa mag-asawang Tubig River gaya ng mga nangyari sa isiniwalat niya noong nakaraang taon. Dennis Dato ABS-CBN News, Tauhan Oriental, Mindoro.
Super busy ang taong 2026 para kay Miss Universe 2018, Catriona Gray. Muli siyang itinalaga bilang ambassador ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Maglalabas din siya ng mga bagong kanta. Inamin din niya na pressured siya sa kanyang unang pagsabak sa pelikula. Nagpapatrol, Daniel Krishnan.
Sa kanyang ikapitong taon bilang National Commission for the Culture and the Arts Ambassadress, masaya si Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray na muling mabigyan ng pagkakataong maging kinatawan ng sining Pilipino.
Here at MCCA, like every year, they're always trying and encouraging community engagement with the arts, and that's something I really admire.
Dagdag ni Kat, hanga siya sa NCCA sa patuloy na pagbibigay ng pagkakataon para isulong ang pagiging malikhain ng mga Pilipino.
I really admire that people are continuing to support and create places where the art can really be showcased and shared, because art doesn't thrive in a closed room. You know, it's really something that's meant to be shared, that is meant to inspire, that is meant to be felt.
Ngayong 2026, sasabak naman siya sa pag-arte sa kanyang unang pelikulang The Loved One.
Siguro, nihintay lang namin ang perfect timing and yung tamang project. And how could I say no with an incredible director, Direk Irene, and also an incredible cast.
Aminado si Catriona na pressured siya sa kanyang first acting venture.
I really wanted to do a good job. Ayoko akong maging weakest link and I feel very out of the comfort zone para sa akin. But I was really so supported in the whole process.
Kabago man, todo pasasalamat din siya sa kanyang co-stars na sina Ann Curtis at Jennifer Rosales.
They were both so kind and they really kind of faced me through it siguro, which I really admire, but they don't need to do that. So siguro that speaks volumes about their character and also as actors.
Matapos ang pelikula, focus naman si Catriona ngayon sa pag-release ng kanyang bagong music ngayong taon. Dino Krishnan, ABS-CBN News.
Nasamsam ng mga kawani ng Bureau of Immigration ang ilang kontrabando gaya ng mga cellphone sa raid na isinagawa sa kanilang holding facility sa Taguig at Muntinlupa. Kasunod ito ng pahayag
simple and not scary.
This is cybersecurity, reimagined for home, travel, or wherever you are.
Pros can trust it, so can you.
Malwarebytes, powerful digital protection that's always by your side.
Cellphone sa kulungan matapos magbayad sa bantay nito. Nagpapatuon Liza Aquino.
Binulatan ng mga tauhan ng Bureau of Immigration ang mga dayuhang nakakulong sa kanilang dalawang facilities sa Muntinlupa at Taguig sa isinagawang sorpresang inspeksyon sa mga kulungan. Ilan sa mga dayuhan ay may mga criminal at deportation cases sa bansa. Nasansang mula sa mga selda ang ilang mga kontrabando gaya na lang ng cellphones, tablets, unauthorized cash, sigarilyo, e-cigarettes at iba pang mga matatalim na bagay at gambling paraphernalia. Ayon sa Bureau of Immigration, regular ang pagsasagawa nila ng mga raids sa pasilidad, pero minabuti nilang suyurin ulit ang mga selda. Kasama dito ang pagsiwalat ng Russian blogger na si Vitaly Sodorovetsky na may nakuslit siyang cellphone sa 9 na buwan niyang pagkakakulong sa BI Warden's Facility matapos magbigay ng pera.
Kung maalala niyo po doon sa case ni Vitaly, doon sa kanyang video, mayroon po siyang kasama doon sa video na isa din foreign national. Yun pong taong yun na-identify din as a smuggler of cellphones. Previously na rin po siyang nasita at napulihan ng 2 cellphones na sinubukan pong ismuggle papasok sa facility through the assistance of his Filipino wife.
Nagsasagawa na rin na sila ng investigasyon sa posibleng kasabwat ng mga dayuhan.
Ongoing yung investigation natin doon sa posible pong mga complicit para makapasok po itong mga kontrabando na ito.
Pinag-aaralan na rin ngayon ng BI kung kailangan paghigpitan ang communication at visiting rights ng mga dayuhang persons deprived of liberty.
Ang isa po sa kinokonsidera is going low-tech ang ating communication. So, maaari pong bigyan ng landlines na lang for communication itong mga wards. Saka kinokonsidera din po magkaroon ng booths for video calls kung nasa labas po ng bansa. Yung kanilang pong kaanak or yung kanilang mga gustong kausapin, yung kanilang counsel.
Nasa kustodiya na ng BI ang mga kontrabando at selyado na para hindi na magamit pa ng mga nakapilit sa pasilidad. Liza Aquino, ABS-CBN News.
Babalik muli sa House of Representatives sa Lunes ang makabayad lang para formal na maihain kay House Secretary General Chelo Igarapin ang ikalawang impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Ayon kay ACT Teacher Representative Antonio Tino, gusto nilang masigurong wala nang magiging palusot o anumang delaying tactics. Matatandaan wala si Garapin na unang maghain ang makabayad law noong January 22 na unang naiulat na nasa Taiwan para sa isang awarding ceremony. Idinihit ng grupo ng impeachment complaint laban sa Pangulo ay itinuring na naisampa na kahit wala si Garapin at idinihit na hindi tahasang ipinag-uutos ng konstitusyon na ang House Secretary General mismo ang personal na tumanggap ng mga reklamo sa impeachment. Target umano na makabayan na manisama ang reklamo sa order of business sa pagbabalik ng sesyon sa plenaryo.
Huling araw na ng qualifiers para sa Philippine Women's Open. Ang kauna-unahang WTA 125 tournament dito sa bansa. Bukod kay Alex Liana, 3 Pinay ang lalaban sa main draw na simula na sa Lunes. Kilalanin sila sa pagpapatol ni Paige Javier.
Umaga pa lang, marami ng Pinoy tennis fans ang dumating sa Rizal Memorial Complex para manood ng qualifying matches ng Philippine Women's Open. Kabilang dito sila Mary at Carlo.
We're really inspired by tennis, so we want to see kung gaano kagaling yung mga players today. Very dominant si Alex today. If you see someone na very mataas na yung achievement sa tennis, so may inspire ka to do your best and to practice talaga and to be better.
It's the first international event here in the Philippines, so it's really exciting to catch this live.
Gusto rin ng ibang Pinoy matuto sa mga high-level players.
Siyempre makikita din namin yung mga moves nila and maybe
it's a really different experience.
Sa huling araw ng qualifiers, Bigo umabante sa main draw si Pinay tennis players Kaki Aludo. Tinalo siya ni Sakura Sogi mula Japan sa dalawang set, 6-1, 6-2. Kaya apat na Pinay ang pasok sa main draw sa pamumuno ni Iyala. Una niyang nakakaharap si Alina Sarayeva ng Russia.
Although this is at home, my mindset in that sense is totally nice. So I take it match by match. I'll do everything I can to win my first one.
Nakalaban naman ni Pinay rising star Kenny Manis si Malaysia sa Macau ng Thailand na tinalo ni Iyala ng 35th SEA Games sa gold medal match.
My goal is to compete well, and I just focus on to enjoy every match and yeah, to compete.
Mga matapad naman ni Kay Ann Emana ang Russian player na si Tatiana Provorova sa first round. Habang makakalaban ni Elizabeth Marquez si Mai Montana ng Japan. Magsisimula ang main draw ng Philippine Women's Open sa Lunes at magtatagal hanggang January 29. Kate Javier, ABS-CBN News.
Puso na ang paghahanda para sa week-long ng Association of Southeast Asian Nations o ASEAN meetings na gaganap sa Cebu. Sama daw sa nagsagawa ng operations briefing sa International Media Center ang Media Liaisons kung saan inaasahan mananatili ang hindi salitahang local at foreign media para sa ASEAN Tourism Forum at ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting. Mahigpit na rin ang seguridad kung saan tanging mga rehistradong miyembro ng media ang papayagang maka-access sa full coverages at high-level conferences. Sa Lunes, magsisimula na ang ilang aktibidad para sa ASEAN Tourism Forum sa Cebu City. Ayon sa Department of Tourism, pagkakataon itong makikita sa mundo ang mahusay na kultura, mga sikat na destinasyon at paghihirang Pinoy hospitality. Inaasahan dadalo sa pag-ikot ang mga tourism visitors, national organizations at industry stakeholders mula sa iba-ibang bansa sa Southeast Asia.
Pinaigting ng Armed Forces of the Philippines ang pagpapatrolya sa Malapaya National Gas Power Project. Pinamulahan ni AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Conner ang monitoring patrol at site visit para maaral ang lagay ng seguridad at kahandaan sa operasyon ng power plant. Ayon kay Conner, bahagi pa rin ito ng malawak solusyon ng sandatahang lakas na ipagtanggol ang kasabitan at ang karapatan sa ating karagatan kasabay ng pagiging mapapangalagaan ang infrastruktura na mahalaga sa bansang o pambansang kaunlaran. Isinagawa ang pinatakan sa monitoring sa Malapaya kasunod ng anunsyo ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. na may natuklasang reservoir o timba na natural gas, 5 kilometro mula sa paubos na balon ng naunang Malapaya sa karagatang sakop ng Palawan na makapagpapalago ng supply ng kuryente sa bansa. Suportado ng pamahalaan ng Pilipinas at mga opisyal, si Commodore Luis Aguila, ang tagapagsalita ng Philippine Coast Guard sa isyu ng West Philippine Sea sa harap ng mga pahayag ng China na sinisira niya umano ang relasyon ng Pilipinas at China. Tinawag naman ng isang international relations analyst na war warrior diplomacy ang ipinahihila ng China at ipinit na isang uri ito ng pang-insulto sa soberanya ng bansa. Nagpapatrol, Alison Bo.
Karaniwan ng ugat ng balita ng maanghang na pahayag sa pagitan ng Maynila at Beijing ang tensyon sa West Philippine Sea. Pero pinatarget ngayon ng China ang isang individual dahil sa kanyang mga pahayag sa mga pangharas ng China sa mga barko ng Pilipinas at nangis ng Pilipino sa lugar. Mariing binabatikos at ipinrotesta ng Chinese Foreign Ministry si Commodore J. Tariela, tagapagsalita ng Philippine Coast Guard sa issue ng West Philippine Sea. Para kay International Relations Analyst Renato Castro, maituturing both warrior diplomacy ang agresibong pahayag ng Chinese Embassy kay Tariela.
iniaso ang publiko na maging mapanuri sa mga bahayag ng China. Tinawag naman ng National Security Council na undiplomatic at hindi kailangan ang pahayag ng China. Ipinaalala ni National Security Council spokesperson Assistant Director General Cornelio Valencia dapat idaan sa umiiral na diplomatic channels tulad ng bilateral consultation mechanism ang anumang hindi pagkakaunawaan ng Pilipinas at China. Patuloy din anyang ipaglalaban ng Pilipinas ang soberanya, karapatan at jurisdiksyon ng bansa. Nauna na rin itong sinabi ng Department of Foreign Affairs. Suportado rin ng DFA ang mga opisyal at mga institusyon ng pamahalaan na ginagawa lamang ang trabaho. Mariing kinondenan ng Department of National Defense at the Armed Forces of the Philippines ang pananakot ng China sa mga tauhan nito. Bukod sa Philippine Coast Guard na isang civilian uniform agency, kasama rin nagbabantay ng PNP ang mga tropa ng PNP. Iginihit ni Defense Spokesman Assistant Secretary Arsenio Antonov na hindi kailanman naging bahagi ng China ang anumang bahagi ng West Philippine Sea. Hindi anya tatantanan ng Pilipinas na pigilan ang propaganda at mga illegal na aktibidad ito sa lugar. Ang Sotto, ABS-CBN News.
Ipinamalas ng mga loko ang desisyon at ang salamat sa seksyon sa festival ngayong weekend. Hiling ang mga loko sa mga ang pagtuloy ng biyaya ng mga magbibigay at pamilya na punuin ng sayawan at malalakas na hampas ng pagtuon ang mga nagsama ng lungsod ng Pilipino sa parada at pride competition. Nagsaya rin ang ilang kapamilya stars sa kapag-uyang carnival sa Dinagyang Festival. Present ang mga bida ng primetime series gaya na may entrada ni Simon Paso, Jim Cuenca, Charlie Ison, Sura Piles, Janela Salvador. Pinarara rin ng Asam Stars na sila Yepos Partido, Jason D. at Ibang Group ng GYO ang mga loko.
Happy Fiesta! Gagyang talaga. Pasiyakan lang. O, diba? Enjoy, mga kapatid. Sa ngalan ng ABS-CBN Jerusalem Service of the Filipino, ako po si Ben Hernandez at dito kami naglilingkod sa inyo sa anumang sa mundo. Susunod ako sa ABS-CBN News YouTube channel ang May Puhunan Kaya Po. Michael, hold that thought. When I get back out to Steve Kerrigan, in the middle and the thick of it all, Steve, what are you seeing? I think you might have some trouble hearing me. Back. The organizers are waiting on the floor again. These metal tags were on the ground here. And I'm trying to back and people me. And I'm hoping for me. I'm going forward now. Third time. You're going to have protesting. And I'm not
looks like amateur hour at this point. Top of water police here. They're outnumbered and taking a block of tear gas because they just lost that block as these protesters are moving forward once again.
Let me tell you about my friend Fred North. We need to go to and so they did. Well, baby, living the life of a rich You're always a winner.
Well, let's bring in Simon Atkinson, Senior Research Fellow at the Border Security and Immigration Center. How would you, big picture, how would you sum up what's taking place in Minneapolis and the way it ended for that one man today?
I think big picture is the best way to look at it. Look, when you look at any movement, you've got three layers. You've got your strategy, you've got your operations, you've got your tactics. The tactics in this case are, let's get out and block ICE officers, let's throw bottles at them, let's yell at them, use megaphones, try to get in their way. What was the strategy? What are they actually trying to achieve? And that is the end of immigration law enforcement. That's the goal of the Sanctuary Cities movement. It's unfortunately the goal of a significant part of the Democratic Party, perhaps the majority, and it is definitely the goal of Governor Walz and Mayor Frey and an awful lot of state and local officials. So what they're trying to do is create an atmosphere in which violence will occur and ICE will look bad and the administration will back down. So that is the game being played at the top level. And everybody's putting on quarterback and experts up on tactics, on ballistics, on video, and the rest of it. And it's distracting from the big issue, which is, do they get to be there at all to do the job? Or can they engineer a crisis, a tactical crisis, that's bad enough from a public relations point of view that the Trump administration gets out?
So when you hear the pronouncements from the mayor and the governor, who essentially have already convicted the agent who was apparently responsible for this shooting, I mean, where is due process there?
I think they had the tweets ready to go. I think they were waiting for something like this to happen, just like they were waiting for what happened to Renee Good to happen. This particular case, when all said and done, I don't know what the result is going to be. I've seen various videos, various tapes. Obviously, he was carrying a weapon with 2 extra magazines, and that's what, 30 rounds. Who carries that around, just to defend themselves? I don't know what his ultimate intentions were. There's a risky thing to put yourself in a very dangerous position. These officers are obviously amped up. They're being threatened. They're being harassed day in, day out. So this is a very foreseeable problem, and unfortunately, the mayor and the governor are pouring gasoline on this fire. And I hate to say it, but I think this is the outcome that essentially they wanted for the
And the video and the coverage makes it feel sometimes like Minneapolis is the only place in the country where immigration law is being enforced, but that's not the case. It's just one of the relative handful of places in the country where immigration authorities are not getting the support of local leaders.
Exactly. And Kristen Secretary Noem made this very clear in a press conference. There have been like 450 convicted criminal aliens released by Minneapolis in the past several months. You don't hear about this happening in Louisiana or Texas or other states where local authorities cooperate with ICE. They honor the detainers, and if there is a criminal alien who's wanted by ICE for legitimate due process of immigration, they're handed over safely behind the scenes in the prison, in the police station, and not released in the street where they have to go and be arrested. And when they're arrested, ICE has to bring force to defend themselves against the mobs, and incidents like this happen. So this is a deliberate political choice made by the city of Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota that other states and cities have not made.
Simon Atkinson, we have to leave it there. Thanks very much.
Lots of things hide behind closed doors. Things you don't want to see. Things you can't resist. Things that remind you of a past you can never get back. one door closes, another one opens. To new paths, new products, and a new partner who can help you lose pounds, gain confidence, and open the door to new possibilities.
You know, making America healthy again is a top priority of the second Trump administration. 1 year on, Secretary RFK Jr. and our leading health officials are taking on bureaucracy and special interests. And they're flipping what we know on its head, literally when it comes to the new food pyramid.
Today, the lie is stopped. The new guidelines recognize that whole, nutrient-dense food is the most effective path to better health and lower healthcare costs.
In the battle for transparency in our food industry, this administration has a staunch ally in Bonnie Hari, also known as Food Bait, to her massive online following. Hari's taken on countless restaurant chains and companies in the name of public health. And now that we have a new set of nutrition guidelines, we couldn't think of anyone better to walk us through it. We're here in Charlotte, North Carolina, at a farmer's market. We're here with food activist Bonnie Hari, who's going to take us through, Bonnie, the new food pyramid. As we all have seen recently, it's been the talk of everybody in the health community. What do you say we go in and you can talk to us about it? I can't wait. Check out the farmer's market. So great, so cute. And a lot of Maha stuff in here, right? So much Maha stuff. Everybody's talking about making America healthy again, and we're so excited it's happening. But you kind of have been fighting this fight for a long time, and it started from a very personal place for you. So maybe you can kind of give us your background. Sure. You know, I grew up here in Charlotte, North Carolina, with two immigrant Indian parents. When my dad had an arranged marriage to my mom, the first thing he introduced her to when they came to America was McDonald's hamburger. Oh no. And that's how I grew up, on fast food. And I had so many health issues as a child. You know, doctors never asked my parents, what are you feeding your child? What is their diet? They just put me on prescription drugs. And by my early 20s, I was on 9 prescription drugs. I had 2 different surgeries, and I hit rock bottom. I decided to take health as my #1 priority and started to read books on nutrition. And in some of these books, there were concepts in them that the majority of foods in the grocery store, in the middle of the aisle shelves, are dead. And I started to apply that principle to my diet and change my diet to whole, real foods that had been unadulterated by the food industry. And everything changed. My brain became clear. I found my passion as a food activist. Until you experience true health, you cannot determine your calling in life and what you can give back to the world. And I think that's the highest principle that everybody's looking for, is like, how can I give back to this world? How can I live a meaningful life? And I don't think you can do that until you have your health. We've been trying to fight the fight for transparency in our food and allowing people to understand the importance of eating whole foods for so long. I mean, you've kind of gone up against some of the biggest companies out there. So to now have an administration who is implementing these things nationwide, how important is it, and why is it so important for the future of America? For the first time in my career, I felt hopeful that we are actually going to get the truth out to Americans, that artificial food diet is not a safe thing to have as part of your diet. Now it's in the dietary guidelines and telling you to avoid it. And for so long, the industry led the conversation in Washington, and now it's carrying individuals at the top that care about our nation's children and the next generation. I'm so excited because you're going to take us through this new food pyramid, and it is new and it is different. So maybe we'll walk around and you can talk about it a little bit. But as we're walking, how is it different? And some people are saying out there, how is it really that different from what it used to be? But it is. It is way different. First of all, the old dietary guidelines never mentioned highly processed food. Now they're saying to avoid them, to eat at home and cook real homemade food. Those things are now considered something that we don't want as part of the American diet, because we know the health effects of those additives and chemicals that we've been consuming, and they're not serving a nutritional purpose for the body. They actually just take away our health. They don't add anything nutrition-wise. So how do we get the American diet to have as much nutrition as possible? And just the mere 3-word sentence, eat real food, is so incredible. And that is really the basis of how so many people can start eating better right today. It's very simple when you understand that concept. I I think the one thing people think about a lot is how can everybody access what we want people to be eating in this country? Some places can't afford it. Some people can't afford it. Some stores don't have all of these beautiful fruits, vegetables, and dairy and meats. When I quit my full-time job to become a food activist, I literally wasn't making any money doing food activism, and I had to figure out quickly how to eat real food on a budget. Frozen fruits and vegetables are incredible to have in your food. They're not rotting in your drawer when you get to eat them or you don't have them. Making meals in advance, making several different meals and freezing them puts you in a position to eat more real food, so that when you're in that position of like, do I eat fast food or do I eat something that's processed? Oh, wait a minute, I have something already ready to go. I can just stick it in the oven. It's ready to go in a couple, 15 minutes, and I'll have something whole and nutritious. And it's all about planning, and that's the key. Is you've got to make this commitment. You've got to plan it. We've got to instill those habits in America, right? Well, there are a couple of things here that I want to talk about, because once upon a time, Bonnie, there were so many people who were told, don't eat butter. Butter is bad. We're bringing the butter back. Yeah. Why is this important? So one of the things about, I feel like, there was a war on saturated fat for so long, and then the invention of margarine kind of took over, and we realized that trans fats and those genetically engineered oils that are extremely overly processed. And so we really don't want that to be part of our diet. So we want to go back as trade as possible by the food industry, and vegetables, we eat a ton of butter. I also think avocado oil, olive oil are great for cooking. Avocado is fantastic. One of the things I love about the dietary guidelines is it includes fermented foods. Fermented foods are an incredible way to eat your diet, but also it helps your system. A jar like this is about once a week. Sourdough. I think sourdough is an incredible way to have a piece of bread and just enjoy every moment of it and not feel guilty, because the way it's produced, it takes a long time to consume. Bread at the grocery store that's being processed, it's so soft and so easy to chew. You can eat 5, 6 slices of that in the whole day. In the same time, it would take to eat one of sourdough bread. Nature has built-in mechanisms for portion control. Well, before we let you go here today, I think your journey has been very interesting, because people may not know this. In 2008, you campaigned for Barack Obama, and now we see that it feels like this movement to kind of give all this transparency in the health space and to make America healthy again is fully kind of been taken over by the conservative movement. There should be a bipartisan space for all of us, because everyone should want to make America healthy again. One of the beautiful things about this movement, it has brought together so many people of diverse backgrounds, independent voices that have been so passionate about this topic, and we're all working together for a healthier America. We have the sickest nation, and we are spending the most on healthcare. Something has to change. We have to do better as a nation, and I hope that people realize that you can put your politics aside. You don't have to agree with everything everybody's doing all the time to do something better for yourself and for your country and for everybody out there. And I just have to say this. This is the first time in my lifetime that the government actually told the truth about what's happening to the food system and what's happening in the food industry. And that is the first step, is telling the truth. Keep telling the truth about what's happening out there with our food system, so people can make the best choices, and then the free market can start to adapt that, and we can have, healthier food at airports. Thank you, Sean Duffy, and healthier foods at schools. Thank you, Brooke Rollins, and have the truth out there. Thank you, Secretary Kennedy. I mean, what they're doing for this in my lifetime that I have this kind of hope.
experience that's secure, scalable, and always under your command. It's the unified cloud experience of your dreams.
It's no secret that AI.
But where I kind of worry is in the AI race, that if in a fit of pessimism, we do something like what Bernie's doing all data centers, or if we have 1,200 different AI laws in states, clamping down on this, clamping down on innovation, I worry that we could lose the AI race because of a self-inflicted injury.
Here in America, the AI race is critical, but we're seeing pros and cons still every single day. Take this report, co-authored by an assistant professor at Stanford, which claims AI raises average wages by 21% and substantially reduces wage inequality. We turn the page, and experts are sounding the alarm on the risk of children forming romantic relationships with AI chatbots. Thankfully, we
I don't know who recommended Synergy to my family, but whoever did, I owe them a big thank you. Because they have made my life 100% better than it was. And
Hi guys, good morning and good afternoon. Magandang gabi. Sige. Hello po mga kalita, kamusta po kayo? Kamusta po ang inyong araw mga kalita? Shout out kay Tita Abrantes Amelie. Basta okay ako. Hindi ko ako nagiging. Hindi naman po ito sobrang grabe. Ang kahit ano, kain pa naman.
out. Ano? Sorry mga kalangga. Hindi ko mapipilit yung ano kasi masyado. Ano po bang gawin sa kanina lang mo? Pero hindi ko pa ako gawin. Thank you so much, Tita Daisy. Sorry. Shout out kay Tita. Drink lots of water, warm water. Salamat po Tita Miss J. The heart, so, iinom lang po akong gamot kakainin ko lang po ng gamot. Kaya lang, napansin ko muna dahil. Please buy WC na pagka-pharmacy. That's what I will make my children get more important. Ita, bibili ko ba mga shoutout po? Siguro po bukas na lang po mga kalanga kasi may sponsora na bukas na. Galing niyo po kami sa daig mga kalangga, pumili po ako ng gamot po. Pumili po ako po sila kasi wala akong gamot dito para sa usip ko.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round.
And nobody gives you more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota, including the best-selling Tacoma with 2.99 APR financing.
Or lease this 25 Tacoma for $279 a month.
Toyota, let's go places.
Out na ko guys.